Hello. Today's March 6th, 2024. Today I'm taking a bit of a chance in saying that politics is so annoying, politics is so frustrating, politics is so harrowing. I don't know, it makes me feel like death. We're now at a point. We're now at a point where we can't agree on anything. I think anything political, that is. I think this is not too much of a hot take. I don't think that's a controversial statement. We can't agree on anything political across the aisle, at least. Obviously, Democrats can agree with Democrats, Republicans can agree with Republicans, and then independents, they do reach across each aisle, but they don't belong on any aisle. So there's that. We're in a world of epistemic bubbles and echo chambers. I made a video about that around a week or so ago, and in terms of the online space and politics, I think it's safe to say that we're constantly being reinforced what we already believe. There's less of an encouragement to intake opposing views. And I think an example of this is the fact that some think January 6th is the worst day ever. I think it was MSNBC. Forgive me, it's been a long day. I think it was that channel where one of the hosts was crying over it. And the clip's probably out of context too. But, some people think it was the worst day ever. It was the day where America collectively held their breath and waited to see if there was going to be a country anymore. And then there are others who think January 6th was an inside job and the election was stolen that day and we actually don't have a country anymore. And I think it's hard for you to find a Democrat that thinks January 6th was an inside job, and it's hard to find a Republican that thinks January 6th was the worst day ever. I think you might find Republicans that condemn what happened, but you get the idea. This is really just trying to lay the foundation for how I feel. This video is anecdotal. I'm not presenting like empirical research or anything like that, but I've been made aware of the uncommitted movement, where we saw it yesterday with Super Tuesday, where Democratic voters voted uncommitted in the states that they could, in effort to kind of show that they don't want Joe Biden. How do I feel about this? Well, I get it. I completely get it. And it's sort of enticing. And I think it gives your vote a bit more power, at least in one reading of it. I get it. I'm not going to lie. I get it. I don't know where a lot of people will stand on that. Feel free to let me know. And then we have people that are voting for Biden for no Trump once more. Settle for Biden. Even 4 years ago, we realized that Biden was not a good candidate. We just didn't want Donald Trump to be in office. And when I say we, it's Democrats. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I am a Democrat. But we realized that the DNC is just out of touch. In terms of what the American people are, does Joe Biden, a career politician, represent the American people on the whole? I don't think so. No matter his policy and all of that, I don't know. The DNC clearly got it wrong. I think they ran the person they thought could compete the most against Trump. But that's just the problem, is the money in politics. And I'll get to that in just a bit. And then you have Trump or RFK or Nikki Haley. And I think you can separate RFK from Nikki Haley and Donald Trump. But in terms of a Republican option, I just don't see how you can reasonably pick one. Nikki Haley's over here saying we're going to raise the retirement age. She's really just a military-industrial complex shill. And then you have Trump, who, you know, in many ways stands for America. Nothing wrong with that, fundamentally. I mean, I guess you could raise objections to that, but you get the idea, I hope. But I just, in terms of social lines, Trump is an absolute, I can't even go there. I really can't. I don't want to ban Muslims from the country. I want to uphold gay marriage legality. I want to make abortion a federal right and so on. So yeah, that's where I stand on Trump, and I know that there are people out there that have objections to that, and that's fine. But, excuse me, I'm gonna take a drink of water. I get nervous whenever I make political videos now. But I'm too interested in politics to not talk about it. Again, the parties seem so out of touch with what us, the American people, want. I think in many ways the parties are throwing up candidates that, you know, protect the private interests of, you know, corporations or lobbyist groups. It's not a hot take. It's so frustrating. And then I can make it anecdotal and talk about my UN class, where, you know, we're simulating making resolutions. It's pretty much model UN, and like all these countries are trying to make deals that go beyond the resolution so that they'll sign on to it. And it's kind of just, it leaves me feeling hopeless, because like here we have just a group of college kids simulating a function of politics, the United Nations. And like we're already doing it. We're doing the Game of Thrones style stuff where there's backstabbing and there's deals being made, you know, all that, when you're just not even engaging with the thing at the forefront. And now our bills that we pass in Congress are just everything bills. And I get it, like, that's the way the world has gone, right? America's a powerhouse now, and you kind of have to talk about everything when you talk about anything. But, I don't know, maybe you get my point. This is I'm just frazzled. In terms of my own self, like, I feel hopeless because there are people in my life where I can't talk politics with them. And I understand that happens all over the place, but I don't know, it's just kind of scary for where we're headed. And I don't mean to be such a Debbie Downer about all of this stuff. I'm just frustrated with the way things are right now. And I really wish RFK wasn't an anti-vaxxer. I'll just say that, because I think he would have been a good Democratic candidate. And then not to mention Biden's foreign policy with regards to Israel and how he's upholding a genocide. That's another reason why I understand the uncommitted movement. I get it. I do. Let me know what you think. In terms of my actual day, it is just rainy. I don't know if you can tell. There's some rain. It's probably going to be upside down when I make the video so that I can go into YouTube, but whatever. Yeah, I guess I'm tired because I woke up so early today, so it might not be the best time to make a political video, because, you know, you want to be precise when you talk politics. I want to give politics the respects that it deserves. You know, in terms of legislation, this is how we affect the country for generations sometimes. In terms of choosing a president, it's how the president's supposed to be limited, but now the president is legislative, and we kind of just I don't know, the president is almost like symbolic of some wishy-washy feeling that the country has. You know, when Trump won, I think there was like an overall sentiment that we're tired of the establishment, and that's sort of what I've been endorsing here. But Trump wasn't like the one to get us out of that feeling, because he just had some crazy ideas, and then the establishment came back with Joe Biden. You know, when you take it fundamentally, in hindsight, it kind of makes sense. In a Hegelian way, perhaps. I don't expect this video to be any sort of game changer like Thomas Paine's Common Sense, but I wish I had an overall solution. I would say that on a small level, from person to person, you should be more open-minded. But especially on the internet, and then now just like our own politicians, they can't agree on anything. Absolutely anything. Has it always been that way? Perhaps, but we agreed one time to revolt against Britain. Am I going to incite January 6th? I have no clue. I don't know anymore. But yeah, after class today, I'm going to go have dinner with my mom and some family members and my girlfriend to celebrate her birthday. So I'm looking forward to that. And happy birthday, Mom. I'm just going to leave it. Politics makes me feel uncomfortable, and I think that feeling is really coming out here. So yeah, peace and love.